this video we are going to talk about the top 10 richest people in Dubai. According to the 2018 Hurun Global Rich List, the UAE has 24 billionaires, the most in the Middle East and North Africa area, with a combined wealth of $69.2 billion. 7 of the UAE's wealthiest people are UAE natives with $27.1 billion in assets, while the remaining 17 are expatriates with $42.1 billion in assets. With $8.9 billion in assets, Majeed Al-Fatham is the wealthiest person in the UAE, followed by Khalaf Al-Habdor and family's $7.2 billion fortune, which rose by a massive 91%. The wealth of third-placed Yusuf Ali, the owner of Lulu Group, increased by 14% to $5.2 billion. Last year, the wealth of the UAE's 11 billionaires fell, while the wealth of the other 8 increased, indicating the slower general economic development. The UAE's youngest billionaires are 37-year-old Divyank Turakia of Media.net, who has $1.9 billion in assets, and 40-year-old Khalifa Bhatti bin Omer Al-Maheri of NMC Health, who has $1.2 billion in assets. Saif Al-Gore and his family, who run Mashreq Bank, are the UAE's oldest billionaires, with $1.2 billion in assets. Al-Gore died in August of this year at the age of 95. According to a Hurun Global analysis, the UAE has the 20th greatest number of billionaires in the world. Dubai has 18 billionaires, putting it in 25th place among the world's cities with the most ultra-high net worth individuals. Saudi Arabia is the only other Arab country in the top 30 countries with 10 billionaires in 2019. It is placed 30th. There are 2,470 billionaires worldwide, representing 67 nations and 1,931 businesses. Their overall net worth fell by $950 billion, or 9%, to $9.6 trillion. The year was harsh for billionaires, with 430 dropping off the list, a new high. With a net worth of $140 billion, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos has maintained his position as the world's richest person. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Bernard Arnault, Mark Zuckerberg, Carlos Slim Helú and family, Amancio Ortega, Sergey Brin, Mukesh Ambani, and Larry Page round up the top 10 richest persons on the planet. There were 28 billionaires who died in India. The automobile, financial services, and jewelry industries each lost 8, 7, and 5 billionaires, respectively, followed by pharmaceuticals and fast-moving consumer goods, which each lost 4 billionaires. There are slightly over 6,000 billionaires in the globe now, assuming that we missed at least one, if not more, notably from the Gulf states, for every one we found. While some go to great pains to conceal their money, most billionaires want to remain anonymous in order to avoid competitors swooping in on a lucrative business or to safeguard their families, Chairman and Chief Researcher of Hurun Report, Rupert Hoogworth, stated. According to Rupert Hoogworth, the primary reasons for this year's record dip in billionaires were poor stock market performance and an appreciating dollar. Despite the strong currency and tax cuts, the United States added only 13 billionaires, making it more difficult for the rest of the world to join. Number 10. Majeed Al-Fatham. If you Google, who is the wealthiest person in Dubai, one name will undoubtedly come up first, Majeed Al-Fatham. With a net worth of more than $6 billion, this millionaire can surely afford to live a life of luxury. Majeed Al-Fatham Holding, MAF for short, is a retail and entertainment company with more than 120 locations in the Middle East, Central Asia, and North Africa. It is one of the major firms in the UAE. Majeed Al-Fatham is the owner of the yacht Quattroel, which has a crew of 29 people, and was purchased from another business billionaire, Michel Lee Chin, in 2014. Number 9. Mohamed Khalaf Al-Habdor Al-Murah. He is an investor and the vice chairman and CEO of the Al-Habdor Group, one of the UAE's largest conglomerate firms, and is the epitome of family money, having been born into one of Dubai's most powerful corporate families. His families and his net worth total more than $7.2 billion, but don't imagine for a second that this wealthy heir achieved nothing on his own. He personally directed the group's diversification into real estate, hotels, education, insurance, hospitality, automotive, and publishing, and is not only responsible for the company's success, but also for the establishment of numerous key businesses. He's a dedicated polo player, though we're not sure how he finds time to do everything and play polo. Number 8. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Gore. Abdullah Al-Gore, who is 91 years old, is still one of the UAE's wealthiest and most prominent individuals. He is the founder and chairman of Mashreq Bank, an Emirati bank, and the brother of Saif Ahmed Al-Gore, another billionaire we'll meet later on our list. Both brothers are from a well-known Emirati family of businessmen. But Abdullah Al-Gore's fortune stems not just from his role as the creator of one of the UAE's most powerful banks, it also stems from his namesake holding firm, which is a gigantic conglomerate with stakes in practically everything. His net worth is believed to be at $4.9 billion. Number 7. Ravi Pillai. Ravi Pillai is an Indian, not an Emirati, as his name suggests. He didn't have a lot of luck in the beginning of his business career, since the building industry was forced to close due to labor strikes. He then decided to relocate to the United Arab Emirates, and start a new business with the assistance of a partner. Within 2 years, he had expanded his tiny trading business into construction through his new company, Nasser S. Al-Hajri Corporation, NSH, which would later become the cornerstone of the RP Group. His net worth is estimated to be over $4.22 billion. Number 6. M. A. Yusuf Ali. M. A. Yusuf Ali, an Indian businessman with a net worth of $3 billion, is another shining example of what can be accomplished in the UAE if you have the right minds. He is the CEO of Lulu Group International, an Indian conglomerate that owns and operates a retail chain in the United Arab Emirates. But Ali is not only wealthy, he is also a generous philanthropist who has made significant investments in India and contributed a staggering $2.65 million to flood relief operations in his home state of Kerala in 2018. Number 5. Miki Jagti. You'll never guess what Miki Jagti's prior job was back when he was living in London. He worked as a cab driver. Miki Jagti has a genuinely inspiring life story. He moved to the UAE in 1973 and spent the first 10 years of his life in Bahrain running a baby product store. That wasn't enough for him, though. When he was able to do so, he wanted to extend his business by opening 6 more stores. He relocated to Dubai once the Gulf War began, and with it, he formed a new firm, the Landmark Group, which today has interests in everything under the sun, including furniture, hotels, electronics, and fashion. His current net worth stands at $3.11 billion. We're sure he never envisioned making this much money, while driving people around London's dreary streets, yet here he is, a shining embodiment of the "follow your goals" credo. Number 4. Br Shetty. Br Shetty is yet another wonderful example of Indians doing exceptionally well in the United Arab Emirates. His net worth has risen to almost $2 billion, thanks to his role as the CEO of a healthcare and financial services conglomerate that includes BR Life, NMC Healthcare, and other similar businesses. He, like his fellow Indian billionaire, is a major philanthropist who has even joined the Given Pledge, which urges the world's wealthiest people to devote half of their fortune to charity causes over their lifetime. Half of their fortune may appear excessive, but consider how many people they can actually aid, and how much money they will still have left, to realize why this is such a fantastic concept. Number 3. Abdullah Fatham. It's no secret where Abdullah Fatham gained his billions. As the proprietor of the Al-Fatham Group. Al-Fatham Group is a huge corporation that works in a variety of industries, including retail, real estate, insurance, electronics, and automotive. But for Abdullah Fatham, that wasn't enough. He also owns the franchise rights to a tiny company named IKEA, which has outlets in the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Egypt, and Oman. He is also the exclusive distributor of various vehicle companies you may have heard of, such as Toyota, Lexus, and Hino, as if that wasn't enough. Number 2. Hussein Sajwani. Hussein Sajwani had no idea how huge his real estate development company, Damak Properties, would become when he launched it in 2002. It is now one of the industry's top firms, having organized the development of luxury properties not only in the UAE but also in Europe. Hussein was even named a real estate legend at the Arabian Business Real Estate Awards, and he is the 962nd richest person on the planet, with a net worth of more than $2 billion. Number 1. Sonny Varkey. Is it necessary to make another joke about how this list is stacked with Indians? We're not going to do that, but we do find it amusing that so many of the UAE's wealthiest people are Indians. Sonny Varkey is the 962nd richest person in the world, with a net worth of $2.65 billion, according to Forbes. How did he come up with them? He is, after all, the CEO of GEMS Education, the world's largest operator of K-12 schools. As a result of this, he has received numerous awards over the years, including those for Greatest Businessman, Education Leader, and so on. What do you think of our list? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want more videos from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.